Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. The Most High is only coming for the elect of Israel. As we know, Israel as a nation, the whole nation are known as the elect. As far as nations are concerned, the nation that the Most High chose or elected are the Israelites. But there's an elect within the elect, because not all Israel will be saved. That goes into the second death. So they're going to suffer the second death, but they're going to come back within the first 1,000 years. So we will bring, the ones of us that are of the elect will bring back the rest of Israel through us, having children. So Israel is not going to be done away with. All Israel shall taste the blessings of the kingdom, because they all tasted the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "What is meant by Netanyahu evokes religious prophecy." So you see the article there. And he claims to be they claim that they're Jews, which means that he's one of the tribes of Israel. And if you notice, he looks like a European, a swarthy, a darker skin, European. Could be, you might mistake him for maybe a Russian, maybe an Italian, maybe a Portuguese person, not a Scandinavian looking person. Anyway, if you notice, first thing you notice, he claims to be a Jew, but there's no beard, no fringes on his garment. And if you check his name out, which I forgot, he had a European sounding name, and he had changed his name to a Hebrew name, which is Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin meaning son of the right, Bun Yum, son of the right, or right son. And Netanyahu means Nathan means give, and Yahu means the Most High's name. Yahweh is pronounced Yahweh, so it should be Banyam Nathan Yahweh. So son of the right, give Yahweh. Or it could be give us Yahweh, which would be Nathan Lenawa, give to us Yahweh. So, like I said, somebody can go on Google and put up his actual name. You go on Google, put up Benjamin Netanyahu. They should tell you what his actual name was, because a lot of those small hats, we'll call them, when they established the 1948ers, they had Jewish, German, Austrian names. They had European names. They had the Goldsteins, the Silversteins, the Bowers, the Rothschilds, the Skiffs, the Warburgs, and a lot of them kept those names, but a lot of them took on, Hebrew sounding names. Anyway, so the question is, what is meant by this? Because this has been in the news. This war, this Hamas, Israel, Gaza war has been in the news. We're going on 3 weeks from one incident. And now it's full, and immediately after, the so-called state of Israel declared war against Hamas, but when you check the news, they're really going against the declaration is really against the Palestinians to really get him out, because he's saying, based upon this, the fact that he is evoking this prophecy, you got to have the people in Israel, the actual people in Israel, and what he quotes, he doesn't go into it, but I went to this page and I put in what I put in. I put in what is the prophecy of Isaiah, and I put in Netanyahu. So this came up 2 days ago, posted 2 days ago. Come back over here, and part of that, I read this right here. He really didn't say all that much. Oh, well, he spoke about light and darkness. Let me just read this again. It says, this is a speech that supposedly that he made, and an address to the nation about the looming ground invasion into Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu evoked images of light and darkness. They're saying that they're children of the light, and that the Palestinians or any other nation will be children of darkness. So, they're saying that they're sons of the Most High, that they're the Most High's people, are promising to save the nation from Iran. And somehow it went from Hamas to Iran to Hezbollah. It says promising to save the nation. When he says nation, he's talking about the actual people, which they actually think that they're the people. I worked with a lot of them, and they actually sincerely think that they're the people, because they've been taught that from childhood. I used to pick up a lot of people from certain Jewish communities. Now, the way they live is there's nobody of another nation that lives with them. Their whole community live amongst each other, because it's a community, And you pick them up, and some of them you talk to, mostly the men. And based upon the discussions that I had with them here and there, mostly all of them are born into this. So they taught this from childhood, and they grow old. So they really think they're the people. It says, promising to save the nation from Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas. And I believe if you look the word Hamas, the word there is a Hebrew word that means violent. Let me go double check that. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do it this way. Let me go to this tab over here. Let me go to blue letter. So I'm going to put in the word violence. Violence. It says Genesis 6, verse 11, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. We're experiencing that right now. The earth is full of violence. Like I said, I did in the previous video, you go back 20, 30, 40 years, it wasn't crazy like it is today. So let's look up the word violence and see what the Hebrew word there. Let's see if it's Hamas. Let's see. Could be wrong. There you go. And that's a Hebrew word. So there's a group. And now I don't know if that's an Arabic word, because Arabic and Hebrew. The Ben Yehudi, the father of modern Hebrew, which was Ben Yehudi, he came to the conclusion that the actual spoken Hebrew is really Arabic. So I don't know if the word Hamas is an Arabic word. I would have to look that up. Someone could do the research or whatever. I'll look it up at another time. But it says with violence or violence or violent. So as you can see, if you know Hebrew, the word is Hamas, violent. It says it right here, Hamas. Let's let you hear it.
Strong's H2555. Hamas.
So that terrorist group, the origins of it, who put it together, who's behind it. You know, there's a lot of talk, if you're an insider, that people outside of let's say the Palestinian community came up with that term, made the group up. So that's all I'm going to say. But so we do know, and I was correct, that the word Hamas just means violence. Violence. Al-Qaeda means the base. Now, Al-Qaeda translates into the word the base. So when you say Al-Qaeda among the Arab community, that means the toilet. So you mean to tell me Arabs are going to make a group and they call themselves the toilet? Meaning the base means the toilet. That's where you shit. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. But we can see it. Now we know. We know a little bit more. We know that the word Hamas means violent. And their reputation, according to the news, is violence. As you can see. And people don't check shit out. So now let me come back to this. It says Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, Hebrew word violent, which attacked Israel October 7th. And by the way, there was this concert going on where the attack took place, and the 7th was Saturday, which is their Sabbath. So why are they having a concert, playing music, having a good time? Because they're not keeping the laws in that land. You have Tel Aviv, you have one of the biggest Skittles parade on the planet. So if them being in this land, coming in this land in 1948 is the fulfillment of prophecy, why would anybody attack them? So basically he's saying that once we get rid of these people, which includes the Palestinians, and by the way, they're pushing out, and this started like 2 years ago. They're what's the term? Deporting these Jakes, these black Hebrews or whatever you want to call them, Beni Amin people. That started 2021. So now they're at a deadline. They got to get out. So what is their plan? Seems like their plan is to push out everybody that's not a ethnic Jew, Israelite, whatever you want to call it, so that the prophecy will be fulfilled. So he's saying the prophecy is not going to be fulfilled until we get rid of these people. It says, now I don't know if he truly believes that he's one of them, or he's been on the top for years. He's basically the king. There's no such thing as a democracy over there, really. This guy's been in this thing since, if I'm not mistaken, the 80s. It says Israel on October 7th. We are the people of the light. That's what they keep saying, that they're the people of the light, meaning they're the Israelites. They are the people of darkness. and that includes any nation. If you're of any nation and you're not an Israelite, then you are the people of darkness. That's what they're saying. Remember, it says in Luke, the children of this world are, in their generation, wiser than the children of light. So who's the children of light? The Israelites. The light shall triumph over darkness. So this is a war between good and evil. That's what he's saying. Netanyahu said, according to a translator from I-24 News, I don't know if you guys get this channel, I do. In Israel, depending on the cable company you deal with, you can get this channel. In Israel, our war against Hamas, violence, is a test for all humanity. It is a struggle between the axis of evil. And then they mention, just in case you forgot, Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas. They should add China and Russia in there because Russia is going to come to the aid of the Persians. Ezekiel chapter 38. So, these people, they'll say, oh, the Hebrew Israelites or the BHI, all they do is they talk down about white people. No, we don't. I haven't mentioned the white man. I haven't mentioned the word Esau. What we're going through now, when you see us speaking, we're going through prophecy. This Saturday, most high willing, I'll be going into prophetic books. I'm not going to speak of how well King David played his a stringed instrument. I'm not going to go to how David used to like black sandals instead of brown ones. I'm going to go into the prophecies, and we're in the time of the last 3 prophecies being fulfilled. So the mindset that you're supposed to be in is prophecy, and the axis of freedom and progress. But the tables are going to turn on these people once Russia's get involved. It says the comments evoked a controversial tweet that his office posted and deleted on X or Twitter. Last week, after a deadly blast hit a hospital in Gaza, Netanyahu went on, "It is now a time to come together for one purpose, to storm ahead or blitzkrieg," look that word up, "to achieve victory in joint forces." The first major nation that backed them up was the U.S. And a matter of fact, Biden had actually went over to that land and shook the guy's hand. Oh, we're behind you 100%. So ultimately, Russia, Ezekiel 38, Russia will be, Gog and Magog will be behind Iran and those nations around about with them 100%. So they're going to shoot missiles not only on America, but on the land of Israel. And a profound belief in justice, meaning to do the right thing. They're not doing the right thing. They're not a just people. A profound belief in the eternity of the Jewish people. We shall realize the prophecy of Isaiah, he said. So now let's go into what is the prophecy. And part of that prophecy is to enslave people, because he quoted, according to this right here, statement by Prime Minister Netanyahu, Prime Minister office, gov. I guess that's IL Israel or whatever. So it says here, with shared forces, on the other speech he said joint forces, with deep faith in the justice of our cause. So he's saying that this is a righteous, a holy war, as the Arabs would call it, jihad. And in every war that the Muslim nations fighting, it's always a holy war. It's always a jihad. And in the eternity of Israel, meaning the nation. So that's why the behind the scenes they want to push out any person that's not an Israelite. They believe that they're the Israelites. Now I don't know what's going to happen to the so-called Falashins, because they did through the Operation Solomon. There was 3 operations: Operation Moses, Operation Solomon, and there was one more. That there was they took out so-called Ethiopians, Cushites, that were practicing the laws. So they said, well, these are actually descendants of Israelites. So they're telling you right there that there's black Israelites out there. They brought them in based on the fact that they were being oppressed by other Ethiopian groups. So they had these airlifts. Like I said, Operation Solomon was one. Operation Moses was another one. There was a third one. Somebody help me out. It says, because I'm not going to go to it. It says, we will realize the prophecy of. So he mentions the scripture. All right. It says statement by Prime Minister Netanyahu. So he mentions the scripture. And that includes enslaving the rest of the world. We will realize the prophecy of Isaiah 60 and 18. I'm going to read that. As a matter of fact, I may just read the whole chapter. It says, violence shall no more be heard in your land, desolation nor destruction within your borders, but you shall call your walls salvation and your gates praise. So let me see what else is there. And I believe if you click on this, which I'm not going to do, that's the actual speech. So, I mean, you can go to it yourself. So what you do is you go to Google, you type in, what is the prophecy of Isaiah, Netanyahu. You can put it, what is the prophecy that Netanyahu made concerning Isaiah. Have a way, because I just put it in like this, then I added Netanyahu. Because it did with this right here, it didn't give me what I wanted. So it says, statement by Prime Minister Netanyahu. He quoted Isaiah 60, verse 18. So if they're looking for Isaiah 60, verse 18 to come to pass, they're looking for the whole 60th chapter to come to pass. That means the whole world is going to be slaves under them. They really believe that. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Isaiah. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai B'Shem Rakakwadash. See, we got no problem praising the true name Yahweh and the son's name Yahweh Shai. These guys, the new trend, it seems like everybody, when a guy goes off when they no longer use the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. They might use Yahweh, not Yahweh Shai. They might not use Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, but use Yahweh Shai. Just recently, you had this was some months ago. You had the one body, and if you look, there's still videos up where it says Yahweh Shai, one body in Yahweh Shai, and they recently took that off. 6 months ago, 10 months ago, I don't know. But when I noticed it, I said something on it in one of the videos I did some time ago, months ago. And you say, well, as soon as they take out that, showing you that's the sacred names of the Most High. When you go to Tazadak at ICGJC, when that split came shortly thereafter, they you stop using the name Yahweh Shai. Well, we don't know his name, and then they use Yahweh, Bun Yahweh, and then I don't even think they use the name Yahweh anymore. So anyway, let's go to Isaiah 60, and we're going to go to 18. Then we'll just read the whole chapter, because I already know what's going to happen. Well, what does this verse mean? What does that verse mean? A glorified Zion. So he's looking for a glorified Zion. Well, the only ones that should look for a glorified Zion are the true people of Zion, the Israelites. So now, I'm sorry, let me go to the 18th verse. It says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy wall salvation and thy gates praise. Let's look at that in the NLT. Go to the 18th verse. Violence will disappear from your land. The desolation and destruction of war will end. Salvation will surround you like city walls, and praise will be on the lips of all who entered there. Let's go back to the King James. And we're going to read from the first verse. So basically, he's saying in code, we're going to enslave everybody. That's what they teach in their synagogues. We're going to enslave everybody. They really believe they're going to enslave people. Any nation not of their nation, they're going into slavery. But slavery is coming back. But we're going to be the head, and they're going to be the tail. So let's read this from the first. Let's try to quickly go through this. So starting from the first verse, Isaiah 60, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. That's talking about the truth. That's talking about the truth. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. That's when the Most High lifts us up, and he's getting ready to lift us up. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. That's talking about the rest of Israel. But in a bigger picture, the actual Gentiles are going to come to us, Isaiah 2, verse 2. And they're going to learn these laws. Lift up thine eyes and around about, and see all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, because all Israel is scattered. Just put in do a word search on scattered in the blue letter. See how many times the word scattered comes up. When you go to Deuteronomy 28:6, I think that's 64. It speaks of us being scattered throughout the whole world. So we're gonna be all over the place. There's Israelites in China. There's Israelites in Russia. Remember, the original Russians are Scythians, and the Scythians are Israelites. It says the barbarians, the Scythians. It actually mentions the word Scythian. Do the history on Russia, the history of Russia, and it's going to mention the Scythians, warlike people. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and Netanyahu called for them to come together, right? And thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles, actual nation, shall come unto thee. Let's look up the word forces. Let's see what that means. Forces of the Gentiles. A strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength, ability, efficiency, wealth. And go to the root of that word. See, converted, you have the super rich, and we're going to become the super rich because we're going to take their riches. We're going to, what they going to do with the money and the riches? They ain't going to do nothing because they're going to be working in the field. What the hell they need things for? They're going to be working. Psalms 149, the whole chapter, mainly the last couple of verses, speaks about them. Matter of fact, I'll go to that right quick. I'm going to start from the first verse. So this is Psalms 149. I'm sorry, it's 9 verses. It says, praise ye Yahweh, sing unto Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. We're going to be singing and dancing and enjoying ourselves in the kingdom. And we're going to be resting in the kingdom. There yet remaineth a rest for Israel. Let Israel, or the Israelite, Yasha'Allah, rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion, Zion to Zion means monument, be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. So we're going to be dancing and singing and praising the name of Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and the harp. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people, just the Israelites. He will beautify the meek. And what does the word meek mean? Somebody that's poor and lowly. A meek person with salvation. And what comes with salvation is the riches. That's what Isaiah chapter 60 is all about. Let the saints, who are the saints, Israelites, be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. And at our beds, we're going to have, if you want 1,000 women, you can have 1,000 women. It says, and see, we're not going to get these women on this side. The majority of these women ain't going to make it. A few will make it. These women, our women, are completely out of pocket. They're complete monsters. They're, as Tyson would say, monsters. They're complete monsters. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. The heathen represent the nations, and punishment upon the people, the other nations, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints, the Israelites, praise ye Yahweh. So this is getting ready to happen. So Psalms 149 is a prophecy. The multitude of camels shall cover the dromedaries of Midian. And these are the sons of Ishmael and Abphah, all they from Sheba, which is like part of Havilah, shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Most High, because they're going to be learning them laws. All the flocks of Kedar, which are Ishmaelites, shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth, which is another son of Ishmael. So Kedar is Ishmael. There's another son of Ishmael, shall minister unto thee, slaves, servants. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. And this is going to be everlasting. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their window? That's talking about how we're going to be delivered. Surely the owls shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh, thy power, and to the Holy One of Yashar'Allah, because he hath glorified thee. So we're going to be glorified by the Most High. It says, and in our glory we shall boast ourselves. That's in Isaiah 61. I believe either the 5th or the 6th verse. It said, and the sons of strangers, the other nations. Now, the word there should be, let's see what the word is. The word is nakar, which means strangers of another nation. Sometimes you come across the word strangers, which means Israel. Like it says in Exodus 12, the strangers cannot eat the Passover. And then in another verse in that same chapter, it says the strangers got to do this to eat the Passover. So it's obviously two strangers, two definitions for the word stranger. It says, and the sons of strangers, the other nations, shall build up thy walls. They're going to be they're going to be working, and their kings shall minister unto thee, because they're not going to be kings anymore. For in my wrath I smote thee, I smote the Israelites, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So why would the Most High put a certain amount of Israelites and let them burn in hell, which there's no such thing as hell? Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men, except for the Sabbath and high holy days, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, their riches, their wealth, and that their kings may be brought. See what they're doing now with the whole New World Order, this whole New World Order thing, is they want to have two classes. They want to have the super rich, and then the rest of the people just to be subservient. So what are they doing now? They're destroying the middle class. And so if the middle class is destroyed, a few of the middle class might become a part of the super rich, the 1% as they call them. But the rest of them will become dirt poor. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. They're going to be destroyed. Not destroyed, but they're going to be flogged. They're going to be whipped. They're going to get a foot in their asses. They're going to get pounded on the head with that scepter that all the men of Israel will have, because we will be kings/priests of the Most High. And I'm going to say this. You don't got to worry about a bank account. You don't got to worry about putting money to the side. We're just going to, like the term filthy rich, we're going to be magnificently rich, all of us, all the men. And all the women will be taken care of by their men. And every woman that is born will be with a man. You ain't going to have no single woman out there. You ain't going to have no single men out there. It says we're going to have women of our nation and concubines as well. Those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree the pine tree and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The place of the Most High's feet is referring to what? The planet Earth. It says, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. The sons also of them that afflict thee shall come bending upon thee. That's Isaiah 14:2 again. And all they that despise thee, that hated us, shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. Now you can't get around this. This is clearly talking about captivity. One nation being over another nation. And they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Yasha'Allah. Almost finished. Whereas thou has been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee. What is it saying now? Jeremiah, I believe that's 15:5, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5. Who shall go to the side of thee and ask how thou doeth? They got this thing where they're looking for a manhunt for this guy. He's a military guy, and supposedly killed 18 people. Do the math on that. 6 times 6 times 6 is what? 18. So that's code right there. They're throwing it out there to the illuminated ones. You got to check these numbers. I'm surprised they said he was 40 and not 42. So Esau deals with numerology. He passes on his messages by code. The scriptures are written in code. So coming back to what I was get back front and center. They had this manhunt with this guy, and they show all the good people of that town being shot up and dead. Oh, this is his father, this is his mother, this is his daughter. You know, the president said, let's lower the flags half-staff for these people. Here you got Jake getting killed every day, man. In Chicago and L.A. and New York. Wherever Jake is, they're getting shot up and killed every damn day. They're acting like this is the first time anybody got killed. This is the first time what is this thing called a gun? So it doesn't pull at our, when we see this on the news, it doesn't pull at our heartstrings, man. It pulls on Esau's heartstrings, and you Uncle Toms out there, you coons, you Sambos. I will make thee an eternal excellence, eternal meaning forever, long duration of time, excellency meaning royalty. The scriptures speak about our women being who is in the great city, and they are, and you know why that is? Because they're, number one, they're born into a family where the mother's only there and the father's not there. They did studies on that. They said you have boys and girls who grow up without fathers. They're prone to criminality. The women are prone to being promiscuous. That's a tongue twister for me. So our women are completely out of order. They're completely out of order. That's why the father. There's a precept in the Apocrypha. Give thy daughter to a man of understanding or a man of wisdom. Somebody can put it in there. I'm not going to look for it. That's in Ecclesiasticus, if I'm not mistaken. So it's up to the father to search out a man. It also says that the man, merely paraphrasing, loses sleep thinking about his daughter. Who is he going to pass his daughter to? And the daughter had no say in the matter. The man and the potential husband, they had maybe their fathers. That's what happened with Isaac. When Abraham set up that Rebecca was going to get with his son, that was a discussion between men, and she didn't know what was going on. All she knew, she rolled up on this guy. She said, "Who?" Said the servant, "Who's that?" He said, "That's your husband." As soon as he saw her, she lighted off of the camel. They went into the tent, and he immediately popped it. He confirmed it. Where was the paperwork for you? Do everything with paperwork. Where was the paperwork? Huh? So, that's why we're all fucked up. So ultimately, it's not our fault that we went off, because the Most High made us subject unto vanity. Not willingly. Romans 8. It says, I will make thee and all Israel shall be delivered. I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many nations. They have a term called, you can become rich, but is your children and your grandchildren going to be rich? That's called generational wealth. So in our kingdom, we're going to experience generational wealth. Like you have boxers, you have our people in the sport world, they retire worth $100 million or $50 million or $500 million, then they go broke inside of a couple years. Janet Jackson went broke. She had a $5 billion with a B dollars, and she spent all that shit. That's why she went back on tour. When them celebrities, Jakes, get a taste of living good, they don't want to stop living. They want to keep. They go crazy with money. Anita Baker, she back on tour, right? With her old ass. She can sing her ass off though, but why is she back on tour? Because she got to make that money. Them old groups coming back doing tours. Hey, if you go to YouTube and you put a old group, maybe from the 90s, type it in, they show have little videos, they got the official page or whatever, the Eagles or whatever, then they'll have tour dates. So all those people, even motherfuckers from the 90s and the 80s, are going on tour. Because they want to live a certain lifestyle. Continue to, because they blow that money. It says, 16 verse, thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, which is parabolic for whatever they got, we're going to get. Whatever you find is ours. Whatever you produce is ours. So slavery is never going to go out of style. It's just going to change, what can I say it? Change characters, let's say. And we're gonna really live, man. We live good when we poor. We make the best of it. We take lemon and make it into lemonade, man. We make the best of what we do. So can you imagine us in the kingdom, man? Ain't gonna be no shootouts and nothing like that, because Jake is gonna be happy and they're gonna know that they're Israelites. Because Jake right now is completely out of order. So the Most High is going to do away with him. He's not going to do what he did when they left out of Egypt, Mizraim. He's not going to have all them Israelites coming, 40 years in the wilderness so they can destroy them one by one. When you read the account, the ship will come down. The UFO, the ship will come down and put lasers on Jake. Kill him. That's in Numbers. I'm not gonna go to it. Jake was bucking up and murmuring. The angels was actually killing him with lasers. It says, thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, Yahweh, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, to buy back the mighty one of Jacob or Israel. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stone iron I will also make thy officers peace, and thy exactors righteousness. You ain't gonna have no grimy niggas with dreadlocks, with their pants is, flop down on the ass. And then you won't have to put a Jake, your son, to death pursuant to Deuteronomy, what is that, 22, I believe it's 21 and 10, if I'm not mistaken. Or 18, I'm sorry, 18. My son is lazy, he's a drunkard. That's not going to happen. Everything, they're going to have the utmost respect for their parents and fellow Israelites. Ain't going to be no adultery among Israelites. It said, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. So this man believes that that's going to happen with them. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither a brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. That's parabolic, all right? But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy glory, thy and thy glory and thy power, thy glory. So what does it mean by the sun of the day, sun by day and the light of the moon? It's talking about philosophies. What you're going to understand, the only thing you understand is the Lord's philosophy, which is the Lord's statutes of the Most High. The sun shall no more go down, neither the sun will go down, on rise in the east and sets in the west. It's talking about you as a people not go down. The old saying for Great Britain was the sun never sets on Great Britain. Meaning anywhere you go around the earth, Great Britain has control. Remember, they colonized everything? So it did go down. It said, neither shall thy moon withdraw thyself. So we know it's not talking about like a ignorant ass Jacob say, no, that's literal. There ain't gonna be no sun and no moon in our kingdom. Well, how you gonna keep the high holy days, dumbass? For Yahweh shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. The days of thy mourning shall be ended for who? For all Israel. Yeah, the so-called Bishop Nate talking about there's going to be a great number of Israelites that are going to burn in hell. First of all, there's no such thing as no hell. They're going to burn in the lake of fire. But he changed his stance because we got on it. We the conscience of IUIC. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten in this time. What does that mean? We're going to be having a lot of sex. And every time we have sex with one of our wives or concubines, they're going to be pregnant. So the first time in the kingdom, there's going to be millions upon millions of babies. I would say billions of babies that's going to be born inside of the first year. And then while they have their babies, you're going to have more women, you're going to have more babies. More women, more babies. One of the elders, a Kazakh, beloved elder Kazakh, he had did a video. Was it him? I believe it was him. Of a particular place in Brazil where there's, in this particular town or this village or whatever, there's 7 men to about, I think he said over 2,000 women. And they gotta run up and hide up in trees because the women want to get with them. You know, there's 7 men. So if you do go through statistics, another tongue twister. Most places there's always more women than men. So that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. There's going to be more women than men, but when the kingdom is built up, you're going to have as many women as you have. Well, you're always going to have more women than men. Because a man needs, in the kingdom, we're going to need more than one woman. And when I say more than one woman, I'm talking about 1,000 women, 2,000 women. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. I went a little long. Please forgive me.